Widowing Waves, Genshin Impact. We're actually talking about general gacha. Gacha in general. Now, you're probably wondering, Ethan, you're very narcissistic. You have a nuclear cinema. Nuclear cinema with my face on. Yeah, you can go get that, ethanapparel.com. That's in the link below. Nuclear cinema, by the way. We are still doing the situation on Twitch. I'm very grateful. We got over 370 hours left on the subathon, where if you sub on Twitch, I put your name on a sweater. I'm going to get the sweaters printed. We're going to give away a couple sweaters in November. But let's get to business. So, I want to make this very clear. I like EO. I really don't like when people just jump on the fact and say bad EO, bad EO, bad EO. I have respect for EO. I think everyone has bad takes. You could speak on the drama, whatever you want. This is not about that. This video is not about to cause drama, but I think that this is a very interesting thread. I haven't read all of it. I read this, but I haven't read through the comments. But I wanted to discuss this because while I agree with some things here, I don't agree with everything. So this whole thread is about there's too much gacha and FOMO. And on the baseline, I do think that's correct, but I also don't think that's correct. I think the more gacha games are better. So why do I say that? Excuse me, let's talk about it. Random rant and thought. I feel like there are too many gacha games to keep up with now. As a content creator, ideally you'd want to main one game, sub another, but then all of them demand more of your time each patch. I know this isn't something everyone feels, probably just my small bubble of creator folks, but like, damn. So again, we're going to break this down, but I just want to read the whole tweet first before I start yapping. Genshin, WoW, ZZZ, NTE, etc. Some form of open world you have to physically play. HSR, Nikkei, I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is either. Really don't. I'm not going to lie to you. I guess I can include Eat 7 here. Idle audio, but auto. But lately have been forcing you to do XYZ in order to get 1, 2, 3 new content timed event. I'll come to this point in a minute. This is the point I don't really know how I feel about. But then I know 95% of my peers have employees, account helpers, right? That keep their account up to date, which eliminates them from feeling this burden most of the time, so the effect is lost. They also have editors allowing them to further reduce the hours spent developing the finished product. It's like FOMO, but not because of the actual gacha. The FOMO of content because you can't do all, edit all, then release in all timely fashion than gacha algo wants. Here's 20 ideas for the month. Pick 5, then successfully accomplish 3 due to the time restraints and trash the reset. See you next month. So, we're going to go over the comments in this as well because I haven't looked at the comments, but I know a lot of creators comment on this saying that they agree. And while I agree to a certain extent, I also think it's going to sound very... I don't know if content elitist is the word, but I do believe genuinely that it does come down a little bit to creativity on the content creator's part. And what I mean by that is this. So let's break this down paragraph. Too many gacha games to keep up with now. I understand that feeling, but also realistically, the more gacha games, if you were a creator, means the more spaces you can capitalize on and make a wave. Maybe a Widowing Waves. I'll give you for an example. My personal YouTube account, I'll show my analytics, I don't care, right? My personal YouTube account, prior to WooWa, was doing okay. WooWa dropped in, when did WooWa drop? Wuthering Waves release. WooWa dropped May 2022. So prior to May, it was doing okay. I was maybe making like, I don't know, I want to say like, I don't know, I don't even know, maybe like $50 a month or something like that. Like, unless I did some crazy Honkai Impact stuff. So, $200. No, that's still including that time frame. So, yeah, okay. We could just look at the money. Let's just look at the money there. May, I see a massive increase, right? So, February 62, 63, 70, 100. November, September. But the biggest time frame was May, June, July. May was the drop of WooWa, $599. June, $521. And if you look at my videos and just overall my YouTube views, I mainly did Genshin Impact videos because I love Genshin. I will admit I love Genshin. Genshin changed my life. It introduced me to friends, content that's successful. My girlfriend. I mean, like, bro, like I love Genshin. I really do. It changed my life. But if you look at my account like 7 months ago, it's okay. But realistically, when you're stuck in a specific space, and with Genshin, even to this day, I'll drop a Genshin video, and for the first couple days, it might not do very well. Like if I drop other than a reaction video, right? I'll drop this Shalona video, which technically was a reaction for the first day, 100 views, whatever. And then as time goes on, the reach will get pushed out to more people and then it'll get more views. But it's not like an automatic uptick like if I do like a woo-woo video, for example. Now, granted, this is discussing dreams, but offer it 5K in the first day, right? Anything with Genshin, for whatever reason, I feel for smaller creators, I've spoken to a lot of them about this, it's harder to rank in the algorithm at first because it is such a saturated market. Again, first day, 100 views, whatever, 300, and then as time goes on, it goes up a little bit. Now, I only made $5. Again, I don't care. I'll show you this. This isn't a problem to me. I'm very grateful for the support, but I'm showing you that even prior, so I'm making less money at this time, couple hundred views, like we were going through it. I did a tier list. The tier lists are normally popular videos, but even 5.2K is a little disappointing. But the content for the Genshin / HSR space, I wasn't really a big HSR meta person, but the content for Genshin is pretty rough. People don't care about funny videos, just realistically, unless you're like the level of Twanto, Anthony Chen, or whatever. You really only have reaction, story, and maybe some meta takes. But again, even at that time when I was a lot smaller, people were not watching my videos like that, like meta takes or C6R5 showcases. Like it is what it is. Woowa gave me the opportunity to have a completely different audience, not only on Twitch, on YouTube, and I genuinely love Widowing Waves. And then you see if I go up, I'm getting 1.5K. It started off pretty but then it goes where is it? 16K, 9.6K, 6.2K, 4K, 5.6K, 29K, 4K there. There's one I think that hit like 34. There's another one I think that might have hit 40. This is 10,000, 30,000. Now obviously this is at the beginning of the game, so you're gonna have a bigger influx of views, but Woowa historically has done very well for me and absolutely changed my content and also just my Twitch career, my YouTube career, etc. Like it has absolutely got me way more views than anything. And with Woowa, the thing about there being more gacha games is that allows for more content creators to shine. So just straight off on this first subject, this is not a bad thing. EO himself made a ZZZ content account that got monetized in like the first week. So I don't remember what, shout out to Hex Shoes. I don't remember what the channel name was, but he wanted to separate it from his main channel, and it did great. And like, because his main channel is really Honkai Star Rail. And so I feel like that is a take where I understand it, but I also think that people are not looking at it as an opportunity. I think if you look at it as an opportunity, if the videos do well, or if you start a new channel, grind out some quick content on there. Look at Vulcan. Vulcan Gacha has the formula down to a T. Dude knows what he's doing. That's someone that you look at and if you're a content creator, that's a great person to copy, just straight up. But so I do think that all these new games give a different audience because Genshin is so populated and it's so dense. Like if I go to Twitch right now and I go to the Genshin category, Genshin Impact, I'm going to struggle, right? Dish is live, 700 people, 200 people, whatever, Eeks, etc. My boy Limbo. I'm going to struggle to get some views up in here. Now, if I go to Wuthering Waves, there is only 1K people. And if I went, shout out to Tiger, if I went live right now, I'd probably be the second or third person live in that category. If you go to something like Zenless Zone Zero, this is really doing 378 people. There's no one in there right now. So there's an opportunity to go in there and you can say, well, Ethan, no one's in there, nobody's watching it. But I don't think that's the case because when Woowa has 300, 400 people in the directory, I'm still getting 100 people to watch me and I'm still getting people to watch my YouTube videos and they do much better than my Genshin videos, even when there's only not a lot of people in that directory because viewership does not equal the correlation of success that your YouTube will do or even your Twitch will do. And I think a lot of people don't really speak about that. So this off rip, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I look at it, me personally, as more opportunities. Some people get frustrated. It's like, bro, I don't want to play a million gacha games. I think that's fine. So he's right when you say you could pick main one game and one sub, but a really good person to look at is Mr. Pokey. Now, obviously, Pokey has an editor. We'll get to editors in a minute, but Pokey plays all of them. And so Pokey has a really good system that I think is another person. I'll just be straight up. Pokey's content is really good in the sense of that he cycles through all of them. He knows enough about the meta in all of them, and he's able to make pretty decent and consistent content on all of these games. Excuse me, to the point where you will not run out of content because of the fact that if Genshin Impact has a down patch, he could hop over to HSR. It's a bad color, but whatever. If HSR isn't doing something, ZZZ's not there. If ZZZ's not there, he can go to WUA. And it's a cycle. And it's a complete cycle. And so if you are educated enough on the games and you know enough about the games, you could really make content on all of them. And the other thing is where I believe it comes into a little bit of a skill issue. I'm not saying this is EO, because I think EO is actually pretty good at, creating content when there's nothing going on in the game. Someone like Gacha Smack as well is very good at being consistent even when nothing is happening. Is that it takes a skill to create content that brings value, even if it's not just reactionary content, original content. Reactionary content, I think, does count as this, but I think there is a level of skill to create content in a space where there's a dead patch or when there's not much going on, and you can figure things out, bro. And so I feel like a lot of people get discouraged by this and look at it as a glass half empty. I'm looking at this as a glass half full. This gives me the chance to make content on all of these. Trying out NTE. You try out NTE the first day, you upload that. I just tried Genshin Impact player tries Neverness to Everness. WoW player tries that, whatever I'm saying. So there's so many things there. This part where it says, but lately you have been forcing you to do X, Y, and Z in order to get 1, 2, 3 new content timed event. I don't know what he means there because of the fact that you still have to play the game to get the content. So I don't know what he's referencing. Like in Star Rail, you still have to do like Simu to get the ropes. You still have to do the events to get like a free character. So I don't really get that part. That part I'm kind of like I don't necessarily know what he's saying. So to me, this just seems like a very weird take. I understand being overwhelmed by multiple open world games because it includes exploration. But again, you don't have to do multiple open world games. ZZZ is not really open world. NTE's not here. The WoW Genshin community are at each other's necks all the times, whatever. So I can kind of see this and understanding not want to cover multiple of these. And this one, I just don't genuinely understand this take because doing X, Y, and Z is literally just playing the game. So that I don't really get, but it's fine. And then I know 90% of my players have employees. I'm going to be honest with you. I have people who help me. Straight up. My ZZZ account, my boy, Osteo, completely automated. Love that man. I appreciate the fuck out of him. Dams takes care of my Genshin when I'm not on there. I appreciate you. Thank you. And so I love both of them. And I'm a much smaller content creator in comparison to someone like EO. And to maybe even some of the other people who have commented in this section. And so I feel like if you have people who are willing to help and you can trust them and build a rapport with them, I don't think that's a problem. And I feel like it's really not that big of a... I think it's not that hard to come by. Hey, listen, just do me a favor. Don't use my fragile resin. Hey, just don't do my fuel. Emily does my Honkai Star Rail. Straight up, hey, just don't use my fuel. That's it. Doggy sometimes does my Star Rail. These people in my community, and I'm like... And again, I'm only averaging right now like 80, 90 people on Twitch. And and so I don't know. And even if you don't have a person managing your account, there's ways to create content without actually playing the game, which we'll get to a little bit later, which mainly is reactions and whatnot. But it's fine. Like, I don't play my own WoW account. Nobody manages my WoW account. Nobody manages my WoW account. I go on, I do the story, I log off, but I have knowledge of the game and I play it so much. I do account recoveries. I make guides on the game. I have a genuine understanding of it because, since I'm a content creator, I've been blessed enough that so many people need help with the game because it's more complicated than Genshin. I can play on other people's accounts, get the content that I need, test the characters that I need, and pump videos out on it. So I don't even play my own WoW account. Realistically, I play none of my Gacha accounts. Straight up. I don't play my accounts. I don't, ever. Very rarely I play my own accounts. So this, I feel like, is something that could be very easily figured out. They also have editors allowing them to further reduce hours spent developing the finished product. Now, a lot of bigger streamers have editors. Now, a lot of people don't have editors my size, even some